there, it's Paul here and welcome along everyone. Today is Bank Holiday Monday, 28th of August 2017, and I noticed on my channel today I have hit the 1,000 subscribers. It's absolutely amazing. I really can't believe that there's 1,000 people out there who's interested in what I do. I've learnt so much on YouTube over this past 15 months since I've been turning, and I was trawling channels probably 2 or 3 months before that while I was preparing, planning, building the workshop and building it. And like I said, I've just learnt so much from that time. And I know from the comments that I receive on some of my videos, some of them have been really helpful to other people, to give them different ideas, to help them with different things. So it's so nice to give something back. After I'd been turning about a year, I think back in July, I had thought about revisiting my first project. The very first thing I did, which was my kitchen roll holder. And I always try and like to make things that are useful, something that you can use. But obviously there's an awful lot of stuff we make which is just ornamental, sits on a shelf somewhere, gathering dust. But little things like the kitchen roll holder and stuff like that, or making something for somebody else that they've asked for, it really does hold something special. And that very first project has been sat on my wall here in the workshop ever since I turned it. And sorry, you probably can't see it here, I've got some glue ups sat on my table saw. During that 15 months that I've been turning my workshop, I mean, if you go back and watch, I think it's episode 3 or something like that, which was my first turning, this workshop was almost bare. It echoed galore, purely simply because there's nothing in here. And now I've just got things everywhere. I mean, I've accumulated so many things. I mean, I've got a pillar drill, I've got a bandsaw, I've just recently bought a table saw, which I'm just doing some videos on. There's just all sorts. My tools have just increased slowly over time. I mean, I've still got my original axe minister ones that I use all the time. And I've added on there various things like scrapers and stuff like that. A lot of those all from Ashley Isles. So it's amazing when you look back, obviously, how things change over those 15 months. And I mean, I would certainly like to think that I've certainly learnt an awful lot. I'd like to think I've improved a lot. And it's really nice when you do get feedback from you guys who subscribe. Just telling me obviously how things go. I always appreciate the negative feedback as well. If you think, oh, that's rubbish or something like that, or I don't like that, or you should have really done this, it's the only way I learn. So hitting the 1,000 subscribers this time, I really decided to go back and revisit my very first project. And I did this about a week or 2 ago, and it was quite interesting. I've gone for a very basic design, very much like the first one I did, and this time I've just used more of the existing tools I have in the workshop. So I didn't have the table saw at the time. There's bits on the bandsaw which I didn't have when I first started. I've used the scroll saw, and obviously the lathe, and having great fun with the skew chisel. So it's all good fun, learning and stuff like that, and it's really nice to see how you've progressed over that time and how you produce something so different. My original kitchen roll holder was basically made of leftover wood from the workshop build, so it's like part of the workshop anyway. So it's a bit rough, it's a bit rustic. I used a jigsaw, didn't really sand it up much, and it was made for a purpose. So this time I have, like I say, I've gone for some sapele, which I bought the other week when I was down south in Birmingham. It's turned very similar to the original dimensions. It's about 11 inches it will hold. The average kitchen roll holder, or the normal standard kitchen roll holder, is about 8 inches, but I've always wanted to allow extra space because I believe you can actually buy some jumbo taller ones, so it's always nice to have that. I've sanded this, I think, to something like 400. Like I say, there's a reasonable amount of work done with the skew chisel. I haven't put a finish on it, and the reason I haven't put a finish on it is because, as a thank you really to all my subscribers, I'm going to give this one away. So what I'll do, I will ship it to anywhere in the world that one of my subscribers are, who obviously wins this. At the moment there's just a couple of screws in the back holding the arms on, so I'll take those out, try and flat pack the whole thing, pack it as securely as possible, and then ship it out obviously when I have the winner's address. And I'll leave the screws in there because obviously they're there to fit that, and I would just suggest that obviously when you screw it back up, just to put a touch of wood glue in there, and it will then stay totally in place, and then at least that way you can give it a finish of your own choice. I don't know, the moment you put any form of a liquid on this, even like sanding sealer, it will so much change. It will look unbelievable if you look back at some of the things I've made with Sapele. So to choose a winner, what I'm going to do is, you have to be subscribed by today, 28th of August, and I will put a date across the bottom here, hopefully showing up now, which will be the closing date. And I'm going to try and allow about 3 weeks, because we're in that holiday period where everybody's going away and stuff like that, and most people are away for possibly up to a couple of weeks, some maybe 3 weeks. For at least for 3 weeks, I'm hoping that it will give my subscribers, you, the chance to at least see this video and enter the competition if you want to. And I think something simple enough is just purely and simply, like I say, you have to be subscribed. I must be able to see you in my subscription list, so you will have to go into your, and I'll check if I was you, if you go into your privacy settings on YouTube, you need to make sure that it's enabled that other people can see who you're subscribed to. I mean, once obviously the competition's over, or once I've got you listed on my spreadsheet as being there, then I mean certainly change the privacy settings back if you wish to do so. But for this, it's nothing special about liking, sharing or anything like that. It's just purely and simply leave a comment below and just put in there, yes please. That's all I need. And like I say, make sure that you are showing that you're subscribed to my channel. And what I will do, I mean, out of my 1,000 subscribers, I checked the other day and I copied the entire list down, and there's only about 500 odd subscribers who are showing their subscriber list. So it's a good chance that it could actually be you that's got your privacy settings not to show the subscriber list. So what I'll do, I will show the video next of this being made. I mean, I hope you enjoy it. I'd like to say a big thank you to you all for subscribing over this period of time. Some of you have actually followed me and supported me literally from my very first video, and it is so much appreciated, like I say. So just a reminder, just comments below, just put the words yes please, the closing date hopefully here for when the competition ends, and make sure your privacy settings allow me to see you as being subscribed to my channel. And again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next project video. Bye. So I'm starting here with a piece of Sapele which is roughly about 3 inches square. So the easiest way to chop this to length is with the chop saw. It doesn't actually do it in one cut, so you can just flip it over. So the next thing to do is then take it down on the bandsaw and cut out the blanks that I need. I actually cut one of this wrong. I suppose there's a problem with working with plans in your head rather than writing them down, and therefore then have to make another cut. Onto the planer thickener. This is really hard wood, and you can feel it skipping on the blades, as they're probably not as sharp as they could be. Just really have to be careful here with the fingers, because that blade is seriously running around at a speed. Just feeding all the pieces through the thickener, just to make sure that they all come out the right size. Then on the chop saw, just trim them all off to the required length. Just using the hand router here, just want to put a bit of an edge on the main backboard so it doesn't look quite so plain. And on the end grain pieces, you'll notice that I do actually get a fair bit of burning marks, which is probably with the router running at too high a speed. I ended up having to do a fair bit of manual hand sanding there just to tidy it up. For the support arms, just used a little template to create the curve, and hand drew the rest what I want to cut out. Once I've got one pattern done, it was just a case of using some double-sided sticky tape just to put the two pieces together so that they could both be cut equally at the same time. So onto the scroll saw, cut out the hand draw pattern I've done. Once the arms were cut, a fair bit of hand sanding just to tidy it up a bit. I then took the backboard onto the pillar drill just to drill a couple of holes for where the screws will go through. Countersunk bit on the back just to make sure that the screws fit in there nice and flush, or at least sink into the wood. Then just placing the arms on the actual backboard, create a pilot hole so at least the wood doesn't split when you put the screw in, and just assemble all the main frame. Main spindle onto the lathe, and you can see here this is my widest tool rest I have, which is actually quite a size, and it's a fair old length to work with. This Speedy is really hard wood, and even with the rough and gouge takes a little bit of time to take down to size. Using the assembled main plate, it's just a case of then marking out where you need the actual supports. Then just taking the actual pieces that will sit onto the support arms down to the required thickness. Then it's time to have a bit of fun with the skew. A little bit of shaping. I'm not actually going to do anything fancy with this, it's just a straightforward shape that's being done here, and literally I think everything gets done with the skew. When I finally got the shape that I wanted, all the sanding done, just to finish it all off. I'll then just use a detail gouge just to make sure that I can get a fairly good finish on the ends. So if this is your first time here, please do subscribe. Click the little bell button and you'll get notified every time I upload a video. There's usually a video most weeks. For my existing subscribers, again, as per usual, a big thank you. Your support is so much appreciated. Please hit the share button, the like button, and please do leave a comment below. And don't forget, if you're within the actual competition date and you're a subscriber by the 28th of August 2017, just put in the comments, yes please, and I'll put you in the draw. Thanks a lot, bye.